Hey, are we here? I think we're live. Facebook will tell me if I'm live. We'll see. All right, I think it is on like Donkey Kong. Here we go. Hi, everybody. Hi. Hi, TMFA. It's me, Dialect Coach Chris Lang. Welcome to Technique Tuesday. Hope everyone's doing great today. We've gotten started all right. Christina says, You're here? Yeah, I was just a little bit late. Um, trying to get everything set up. And Facebook Live is sometimes a tiny bit finicky. So I do thank you for your patience. Um, like I said, I hope everyone is doing fantastic today and uh, enjoying Technique Tuesday, enjoying their week. I don't know what the weather is like where you are, but it's really, really cold here where I live in the mountains, and it looks like it's going to be even colder in a few days. In fact, I'm traveling this weekend to a place where it's supposed to be a high of 3 below 0 and a low of something like 35 below zero. So I'm super excited, bringing my nice puffy coat and everything for that. All right, who is here? As always, my friends, if you show up on this Facebook Live, I want you to say hi in the comments. It's really important to me that that happens because training is one thing, but training that's personal is a very different thing. And I want to make sure that everything that I'm telling you about accents is geared specifically for you and your questions and your process. So please do say hello. Tell me how you're doing in the comments. I want to see. I want to see if you're here. So already, Christina says she's here. Hi, Christina. It's always a pleasure when Christina shows up. She's got great questions. She's a little bit of I suspect, an accent nerd, and we like that. I want to encourage that tendency. Bruce Foy is here. Bruce the bass. Hi. He says, Hi, I'm having a wonderful and blessed day. Back at you, Bruce. I hope you're having a wonderful and blessed day yourself. I hope everybody is there, but I can see how many people are watching this Facebook Live, and only two people so far have said hello. So what's going on there? Jump on in. There's another training reason why I ask you to do this. I don't often talk about it, but I think it's an important one. Have you ever been in an acting class where the teacher says, Hey, we're going to do this thing, we're going to do this exercise, explains it all, and then says, All right, who would like to go first? And everyone just kind of sits there looking for somebody else to go first, right? That's a very common experience. I'm sure we've all seen it. We've been a part of a room like that. However, I have to say to you this: why does this happen? Why does the room go silent for a second? Why do we stop moving and start looking for everybody else? Partially out of fear. Nobody wants to go first. Might screw up the exercise, might get it wrong, might be made an example of, and all that sort of stuff. And we can get scared of that as actors, especially. But here's my counter proposal to this. Every single opportunity you get in an acting class or anywhere else where somebody says, Hey, who wants to go first? And you jump on that opportunity, that's an opportunity to act. That's an opportunity to test out your technique and your skill. It's an opportunity for you to showcase some piece of talent that you feel cooking inside you, to encounter inspiration in the moment. It's an opportunity. And we should never turn down opportunity, ever. No, we should seek opportunity and welcome it, even at the expense of our own nerves occasionally. And I would say all the time. So, if in an acting class, when the acting teacher says, Who wants to go first? You build a habit for yourself of going, Me, no matter what. You stand up first. You raise your hand first so often everyone goes, Okay, somebody other than, Christina has to go first. Somebody other than Bruce has to go first. Right? We want that to happen. But you're building a habit of fearless attempt, knowing that there's some unknown. I don't know how this is going to turn out, really, but I'm going to go for it because I'm an artist. And there's some juicy excellence that I can sink my teeth into, all right, in front of me. That's what I'm after. So, in the same way, when I say, Who's here today? Don't hide. No hiding in the shadows. I don't want you to hide. I want you to say, I'm here. I'm an artist. I'm here. I have something to say in this work, in this world, and I'm here to learn. I want to, I want to be a part of the process. I want to be part of the conversation. And as always, I want these to be conversations. So, my friends, I can see just how many of you are watching this. Say hello. If you haven't already, I want to know why you haven't said hello. All right? Why aren't you letting me know that you're here already? This is a habit I want you to build. Fearless attempt. You're going to be fearless in your attempt. Fearless attempt. All right. Who else is here? All right, Elias. Elias is here. Hi, Elias. Nice to see you again. So again, say hi. And as always, I have stuff I'm going to talk about today. Today is all about piggybacking on my conversation just now about attempt. It's all about how do we attempt at accents in our process? Where does it fit in to whatever acting technique that I have been steeped in or that I have in my acting toolbox? Where does the accent stuff fit into there? I think it's crucial for you guys to know this. You have to know this so you can be as successful as possible as accent actors. All right. So, how and where and when and why and in what ways do we attempt at accent? So that's what I'm going to talk about today in just a bit. But as always, the floor is yours. Please, any accent questions that you have, throw them in the comments. I want to be able to see them. Accent work, like anything in art, is very, very personal. Language learning is a personal experience. And so your experience is going to be individual. And so I want to be able to address your individual experience. I can say a lot of blanket statements, and a lot of them will be largely true about how we want to learn accents. But you're going to have a very unique experience, a very unique experience. All right, that is only yours, an idiosyncratic, unique experience, and your ability to approach accents and languages from that experience makes that process we have to engage in also therefore unique. So I want to be able to address that. So fearless attempt. Say hi if you're here. All right, pop your questions in the comments. Please do this. I really want to make sure that you guys have a forum to get your questions addressed. And on TMFA, that is what we're here for. We are here to help. I am here to help you. Wendy asked me to come on here because she wants me to help you guys. And I'm passionate about helping you. So unless you tell me what's up and ask your questions, I can't help. So bring it on. Never ever feel intimidated, guys. You never. There's no such thing as a stupid question or anything like that. They don't exist. It's all opportunities for training and growth. All right, let's see who checked in here. Lauren Miller. Hello, just logged on. Hi, Lauren. Welcome. Um, Magda Dudziak. I hope I'm saying that right. Magda, if I've screwed up your name, just let me know. Spelling, a poor guide for pronunciation, so I'm really guessing when I read your names. All right, Teresa Soros Grosso is here. Unless it's catching up on notes. She's going to reach out over a private session about a piece she's working on. Have to go from a stereotypical British, from an American perspective, to a Manchester accent. She says, yikes, intimidating. Absolutely, it can be intimidating. Just know this, Teresa. There is a process, step-by-step process that we go through to identify the accents we want to target in our work, to begin learning them, and then to gain affinity and flow and coordination, muscle memory, I guess, if you will, with them, to mastery. There is a process, and we can definitely make it happen. So Teresa, reach out. Anybody else who's out there going, oh yeah, I've got this thing coming up, or really anything. If you want to have a talk about accents, my website is dialectcoachchrislang.com. I have a very friendly chat bot there who will happily take your information and then we'll give you a link in exchange for that information. And you can use that link to sign up for a free Zoom call. And on that free Zoom call, we'll talk about whatever it is accent-wise you've got going on. We'll strategize. We'll come up with a plan of action. I want to make sure you're taken care of so that you know what next, what to do next when it comes to accents. I never want you guys to be in a position on TMFA when you have access to me and the other teachers here to go, what the hell do I do next? I don't know. No, we don't want that position at all. I want you to have a plan of action, to know what to do to move yourself, your career, and your acting technique forward. And by acting technique, I mean accent acting technique. All right, who else is here? So, Teresa, reach out, schedule that free consultation. We'll talk about the scope of your project and your plans, and then we'll take care of sessions. We'll see about what the time frame is, and we'll make sure that happens. Sandra Boyd is here. Sandra, hello. Good to see you again, Sandra. So everybody else, there's still a lot of people who haven't said hello, despite my admonition to let's be fearless here. Say hello to me. All right. Wilbert Charles Jr. says, greetings in today. And to you, Wilbert. Happy to see you here. All right, so let me just look at my notes to make sure I'm not skipping egregiously ahead in anything I wanted to talk about. But first, Teresa broke the ice with a question. All right, let's take a look at what she's got. So she says it's about mouth anatomy and the effect on speech pronunciation. Can a submandibular tori affect speech like a short frenulum or masses? My dentist said it may be causing clicks in my voiceover work. Ever heard of that? All right, Teresa, knocked it right out of the park. My baseball metaphors are coming back because the NFL season is over, and I'm going to have now a baseball season to look forward to. Fingers crossed. Although my Rockies are not going to do so well. I think we traded away everybody that was worth anything. All right. So, in any case, home run question, Teresa. Um, so, think about it this way: speech is formed by these mouth parts. These are just body parts, like anything else. Fingers are body parts, lips are body parts, the tongue is a body part. All the muscles in here are muscles, just like your biceps, your triceps. All right, just body parts that we're going to use. And these particular body parts have one specific function when it comes to speech. It's to shape the way sound exits our body. All right, the alignment of your vocal tract, just like your body has alignment, your vocal tract does. That vocal tract alignment, always I will call this vocal tract posture. This posture is largely responsible for how sounds exit your body. And so if you have any sort of, I don't know, vocal anatomy, I want to call it irregularity, because these things are very normal and common to have things that happen inside our mouths that not everybody else has. For instance, um, you mentioned a short frenulum, a lingual frenulum. So everybody, you've got this tether that tethers the base, the root of your tongue, to the surface of the tongue. And depending how long that is, it allows your tongue to lift up or go out. I have a short lingual frenulum. Uh-huh. Just very baby lingual. I have a tiny little lingual frenulum. Now, I can stretch my tongue out pretty long, but for me to lift the body of my tongue up into my hard palate, I have to squeeze my tongue together into like a sausage shape. So these things can alter the way we create speech. Um, so I'm curious, Teresa, what your Teresa's remembering the blueberry and hot dog exercises. I'm taking you guys through that in previous Facebook Lives, but also it's a part of my Universal Accent Skills Workshop that you have to master how to move the tongue in these ways, right? So, right, Teresa. So we have to move our tongues essentially to adapt to the anatomy nature has given us. Um, so if we're talking about like masses or extra tissues, sometimes skin tags, gross names like that, inside the mouth, those can occasionally cause extra noise, especially if there's saliva washing around there or the air is hitting them. So these kind of things, yeah, we can run into extra noises, but I would be really curious. For instance, a submandibular tori, I have no idea what that is. I'm going to look it up. Mandibular tori. Okay, so it's a benign bone growth, I guess, in the mouth is what I'm looking up here. Yeah, I'm an accent coach, not a doctor, as it turns out. But certainly these things will affect how your speech comes out. Now, know this, Teresa. Whatever is going on inside your mouth, there is almost always an adaptation we can make in how we want to form the speech sounds to mitigate if there's extra noises, right? The last thing we want to do is have any sort of surgery in here. The instant we have surgery in here, down here, we risk injuring it or changing this so that we have to relearn how to use it in large part. That's just, if you have to have it, totally. If it's a life saving thing, get the surgery. But if you can adapt the way that you create speech sounds to create similar sounds that would be in place if this thing weren't in your mouth, then we should try that first. So I'm curious about this, Teresa. I want to know more, and let's talk more about it when you sign up for your consultation call. And just a reminder, you go to my website, dialectcoachchrislang.com, talk to my friendly chat bot. He will give you, in exchange for your information, a link to sign up for a free Zoom consultation call. So if anybody out there is also interested in doing that, go ahead. I'm here to help. Sign up for the call. No pressure. I just want to help you with your accents. I want to see what's the next step for you into greatness as an accent actor. All right. Great question, Teresa. That's fantastic. All right. Who else is here? Sarah Malfara is here. Hi, Sarah. Grace Hartsfield just logged on. Hi, Grace. Amanda Riopena. I'm so sorry for that butchering of your last name. Says hello from Boston. I love Boston. I want to know what part of Boston are you in? One of my favorite cities. And Lizette Benray is here. Lizette, I worked with Lizette almost a year ago, right at the beginning of the pandemic, on a General American accent for an audition, and she was killing it. So, Lizette, come back. Let's work on some more accents. I want to, you deserve some more training. Let's get back to it. So, in any case, unless there are any more questions, which I'm sure there will be, I'm going to dive in to how do you fit accent into that acting process? How do we actually do that? The biggest thing that I'm going to say in terms of how to fit it into your acting process is make sure that the accent process is not separate from the acting process. I'll say this again. Make sure the accent process is not a separate thing from the acting process. They have to come at the exact same time. All right. A lot of acting techniques that I've experienced, and part of my work as an accent coach is to be familiar with every single acting technique on the face of the planet, because all my clients come from very different techniques, so I kind of have to know all the acting techniques inside and out. But one thing that I've noticed is a tendency for acting teachers to tell their students that because accents are harder, all right, we want to do the thing that comes more naturally to us in the acting process, which is to engage in the exploration of behavior and psychology and motivation and bodily physical alteration, walking different, all these sorts of things. We want to engage in that and then put the accent on top of it because the accent's a little harder to do. The problem with this is that if we start carrying the accent around separately as a part, as a different thing from behavior, all right, if we start carrying around as something that's not behavior, then suddenly the way you talk will be very, very sort of removed from your behavior as the character, all right? And speech is behavior, right? Just like anything else you do as an actor, this is behavior. And your job as an actor is to enact human behavior, all of it. And so you also need to be an actor of this behavior, all of it, everything that's possible for the human vocal tract. You want this to be available. So if we start thinking of the accent and acting process as the same thing, then that very beginning step we take in terms of building character and exploring role is a lot easier. Now, technically speaking, if you have an accent to learn for a major motion picture and you're starring in, we're going to work on this accent for months before you want to be on set, because we have to get everything in place and you need to be Oscar caliber. And so we want to work for months and months to make sure that this thing is in place and is golden. All right. But at the same time, we're building the accent portion of the process, and I will describe accent identity. All right, being the kind of person who speaks in this accent. Accent acquisition, largely an act of the imagination. Unless you can actually imagine yourself as somebody who speaks the target accent in real life, you're always going to be distant from it. You have to be able to own it like a native speaker. And so, as we're building accent identity early on, we start building character identity, and we have a script, and we work off the script for a lot of this information. Much of it we don't have to invent at all. What's the accent identity? We don't have to invent this. A lot of it's in the script. We get the where we are, the who we are. We get a character history usually of some sort. We get relationship information. We get information about education. We have cultural status and social status and wealth status and all these things that play into accent, including word choice. What words are we using? What's the dialect here? So we have a chance to build that from the beginning by working on the accent right there at the start and building that accent identity alongside the character identity so they're not different. All right. So when you step into the skin of the character on set, you fully realize this identity for yourself of a native speaker, the vernacular, the way that the vocal tract posture will change. Your face will feel different because of this. Your voice will feel different because of this. Everything's going to change because of this. But we have to start early. If we don't start early, the accent is going to be this prop or this costume piece that somebody has given you. And you're going to be wandering around set with this really weird prop. Or if you work with me, I will use this analogy a lot. You'll hear me say this. It's like someone says, "Here's your jacket for the role," and you put the jacket on, and you're like, "Boy, this material is really stiff and doesn't really move well, and it squeaks every time I bend my arms, and well, that arm is longer than this arm, so that's weird, and it doesn't fit. Okay, squeeze into it, I guess, and yeah, I can wear this coat, but it's not my coat. It's not my coat. This coat was not tailor made for me, right?" And we don't want to have an accent sort of extra like that. The accent has to be so deeply embedded in and melded with your acting process that they're not different. All right? Think about it this way. I'll go back to this idea of behavior. All right? If I'm going to say, let's say I'm doing an RP accent, and I'm going to say bath instead of my own bath. All right? There has to be something inside me as an actor that goes, okay, that's a change of behavior. I have to understand why I would behave that way all the time. Why would I say bath instead of bath? And the glib answer is, well, because you're British and that's how they say it. Okay, but you're not wrong. As if I'm, if I'm coming from a received pronunciation background, you're not wrong. But it's not the whole package either. We have to have more than that. We have to be like, it's because this accent means something in the world of the film, in the world of the TV show. This accent, me behaving this way, says something to everybody else who hears it that they know something about me, right? It also says I know something about myself. All right. In England, largely in the UK, accents denote status and have done for centuries. Right. So received pronunciation was a way for people to say, "This is how you'll know that I'm educated and that I've been to Oxford or Cambridge probably, or maybe one of the private schools, and now I'm an MP or I work in government and I'm one of the benevolent ruling classes." So for me to be able to say Bath, that's how you knew that. And it has to mean something because of that. So think about this for yourself as an actor. You can't take for granted that sound just is what it is. You have to understand what it means, where it comes from, why it's important, and deeply embed that knowledge in here in a level that I will call knowings. All right? What's a knowing? What is a knowing? All right? I asked a client this earlier today. We had the same conversation. All right? Let's talk about what a knowing is. All right, everybody out there, take a second and remember. And I'm just going to ask you, do you remember your first kiss? I do. Right. Remember your first kiss. Remember who it was with. Remember where you were. Do you remember what you were wearing or what it looked like in the room? Do you remember how cold or warm the weather was? Do you remember how it felt after that first kiss? Remember being kissed and then the moment after. Do you remember that? Yeah, that moment right there. That's a knowing. It's a piece of information, memory perhaps, but it's emotional, psychological, and behavioral all tied together. All right, that you know. It's not like you had to wonder what it was like to have your first kiss or what that moment after was. You knew it instinctively. It's such a deep level because it's a part of your identity as a human. It's part of your human story, right? This is how you knew it. We need accent identity to also be a knowing, right? So I love this stuff. So Sandra in the comments, I love this. Accent not separate from acting process was a revelation for me. Yeah, because most teachers teach them separately, and most training programs do as well. But think about this. You speak in an accent every day. Your accent. All right? You can't help it. Everybody speaks with an accent. So because you speak with an accent, you are already acting in an accent. It's just yours. It's one that you know. You're the native speaker of the accent. And your accent process as a native speaker of the accent is not separate from your acting process. And so any target accent you learn should also then not be separate. Imagine if the way you talked in your own accent was suddenly separate from your acting process. Think about what that might be like. That's nuts. I would never ask an actor to do that, and nor would any other acting teacher really. All right, but we get used to thinking about accents in this separate, like on an island somewhere. But just know this: the way you talk is so deeply embedded to you as a human being that the way your character talks is deeply embedded in them as a human being, just like you are. Your accent is with you. All right. One of my favorite things to say to people is every role you'll ever play is an accent role because you're never not going to speak with an accent. You will always be speaking with an accent. Whether that accent is yours, is a little like yours, is a little not like yours, is a lot like yours, is a lot not like yours. It's an accent. You will be speaking with an accent no matter what. So I want you to train your brain right now to start thinking about the accent and the acting process as the same thing for this reason. If they're separate, you are always going to find yourself hamstrung by your brain's inability to see accent as a part of your acting process. It's always going to be a stumbling block for you. Unless you change your perspective about this, you're always going to be a little bit hamstrung by it. Because when you have to act with an accent, suddenly you're like, oh shit, now it's different. Now my acting process is different. It's not. It's not different. We're just adding extra stuff to it. We're adding a different way of speaking and that identity part earlier. We have to be really clear about that identity stuff with the accent way earlier. But it's no different. I'll say it again. No different at all. Acting process, accent process, same thing. Love this. Sarah Malfara says, imagine you yourself as a native speaker, not separate from it. Ooh, yes. You have to. I love, I don't know about you guys, but I found that revelation when I was in training years and years ago, and somebody said that to me. It's not just about putting the tongue here and the lips here and the jaw there. The sounds we can train. But unless you can imagine yourself as a person who actually speaks like this in real life, and that carries everything along with it, that identity stuff, right? Like in everything that needs. Unless you can imagine that, you're never going to be inside this accent like you want. You're always going to be reaching for it, wondering at it, kind of judging it, frankly. Imagine if you didn't embrace your character's identity and you're always sort of judging them, right? Like that's the trap when playing bad guys is to think that they're a bad person and play them like that, as opposed to playing the role as if they were the hero of the story. This is why villain roles are so much fun to play. Why I love playing them is because I get to play this different version of the hero of the story and completely justify everything in the coolest ways possible. All right. Then the accent works the same way. I can't judge the accent. I can't judge my character's behavior. And if accent is behavior, I can't judge that either. Or I'm not gonna be able to move forward. Um, so let's see. I've kind of gone on safari here on a lot of things. Um, so let me just say this: when to start the acting and the accent stuff together as early as possible. All right. Now, often with auditions, you're not going to get time. All right. You're going to get a day or two. That's fine. Your acting coach, your accent coach, like we have ways to help get you there. All right. Just know that that process is very different than if you come to me and say, I want to learn how to master accents because I want to be a powerhouse accent actor. All right. That's a different process. That will take more time and more depth. But for the audition, our job is to get you ready to go. All right. So, but as early as possible, the instant that you know you want to start learning. All right. How to do that? Come to me. I will talk you through that process of what that's like, but it's going to involve us working together for a period of time. Depending on the length of time we have, I may put you in my accent skills workshop and say, build these skills. Because at the end of that 6 weeks, you're gonna be able to run, and we're gonna take this accent, we're gonna run with it. All right, may have that process involved into it. We're gonna find accent models, real life human beings who speak the target accent, because we need authenticity and we need detail. We need to know it exists in the real world, and we do not want to get blown up on Twitter when the movie comes out because the accents are bad or inauthentic. We don't want that to happen. So we have to use real life human beings. And then we have to tailor that accent to the story itself so that's helping to tell the story. All right, that's the process that we would largely go through. And you have to start early enough for that process to happen. If you've ever seen an actor out on a film or TV show, and let's say they have an accent, and you go, ooh, that didn't quite fly for me. Something's off here. Just not, I don't know what's going on, but it's not working. If the accent's not working, it's almost never the actor's fault, my friends. It's almost always because production did not give them enough time to prepare. 99% of the time, that's what's going on. They did not get enough time to prepare. All right, so do yourself a favor and start early, which means, my friends, you've got to know how to do accents before you need them. The time to start working on an accent is not when you think you have that audition in 6 weeks. All right, and I've never worked on an accent. Although we have to do that. If we've got to get you there, we'll try to get you there. But the time to have your accent skills ready is like well before you actually have to have the accent. Right? Imagine that you came up to me and said, "I'm going to go play tennis at the U.S. Open this year." And I say, "Have you ever played tennis before?" No, but I'm going to practice a couple weeks before, and I'll be okay. That's a little bit what it's like when people just want to learn an accent really quickly. You've got to know how to play tennis. You've got to be able to swing the racket, hit with spin, and do so at an elite level and a competitive level. And my goal as your accent coach, my friends, is to get you to that level. All right. If you feel like you're far away from it right now, don't worry. We got time. It's a process. I am here for you. I am here with you in this. All right. Let's train together. Let's do this thing. All right. But it does take time. So you want to start as early as possible. How to start? You want to find a good accent coach, good professional accent coach. I am here on TMFA. Please do reach out to me. All right. But on the off chance that we don't gel or whatever it is, I don't take for granted that I'm the perfect accent coach for every actor out there, so that's fine. But I'm happy to recommend you to a trusted colleague as well. Also, Pamela Vanderway, who's the founder of dialectcoaches.com. If you go to dialectcoaches.com, she will connect you with the right coach. That is her mission in life, is to make sure the right actor and the right coach go together and form a long-lasting working relationship. She also does this for productions and coaches as well. So you want to find a good coach that you're going to work with for a long time, just like when you find your good audition coach or acting coach. All right, you want to do that. You want to have somebody around for a long time that you trust, who knows your process and you know theirs, so you can work really efficiently together. All right, good question. We got a question here. Jackie Gerhardy asked any vocal warm-ups that you like. Yes, there are a lot of vocal warm-ups that I like. One of the things that I'm going to put out here in the next several weeks is a vocal warm-up class. All right, I'm going to have several versions of it. I'm going to have the one where, like, if you just need a physical vocal reset all day, like, I just need to reset and you have an hour, I'm going to have one of those. If you just need a 20-minute, like, quick warm up before you go into, from your trailer back on the set again, I've got one of those. All right. If it's a pre audition thing, I've got one of those. And then I'll have one for in between takes, how to stay warm and keep yourself flexible in between takes. Jackie, I don't mean to sort of brush you off here, but it's a bigger question than that. For me to recommend vocal warm-ups, they have to be in context. So they have to come in a package that gets you from start to finish, warms you up, and gets you ready to go. So, thank you. I learned I pronounced the last name right. Yeah, all right, guys, victory is mine. Every once in a while, it works out. So I'm going to have some warm-up classes that I'm going to do for you guys on my on-demand workshop stuff. All right, so they'll be affordable. Once you have access to them, you'll have access to them in perpetuity. I may even do a subscription or something like that, so you can just. I need to follow Chris on a warm up. Boom, open my phone. I'll have that warm up with me. So I want you guys to have that because there's nothing worse than trying to act from cold. All right, and the Super Bowl just happened. Those guys would not show up on the field without hours of warm up before, and we don't want to do that for acting either. So Jackie, I would encourage you, like, if you want to talk more about it and get more specific to you and your process, come to my website, dialectcoachchrislang.com, and talk to my chat bot. Get the link to sign up for a free Zoom consultation, and we'll talk. we'll see what we can come up with and a plan of action. Um, okay. Um, I have in my notes, I say this, all right? Which acting technique should I meld with my accent technique? And I'm going to put it to you this way, all of them, all right? This seems like maybe it's obvious, but know this. Accent technique isn't any good to you unless it's compatible with everything that your acting teachers are telling you, right? And so that's how we want to smush things together. So it doesn't matter what your acting technique is, it will meld with your accent technique if you start thinking about them as the same thing. I'll encourage you though, if you have an acting teacher, I don't want to, disparage any acting teachers out there because they're the best in the world, right? Really fantastic. But acting teachers don't coach accents typically, all right? And I do both. I teach acting and accents. So I just want to tell you this. If you have an acting teacher who says, forget about the accent until you've memorized the lines, I will absolutely disagree with that. 100%. Or if you have an acting teacher who says, don't worry about the accent until we're memorizing lines, or don't worry about the accent, let's do all the acting stuff first and put that together, I will have problems with that philosophy just because it's not being holistic enough. We are not integrating that accent and the acting together in the way that we need to. So, so those kinds of things may pop up. But the acting technique, whatever school, if you're Meisner, Practical Aesthetics, Uta Hagen, Strasberg, Adler, Stanislavski, Russian Stanislavski, French Stanislavski, the British schools, the Rada, like anything at all, any of these variations on the theme, okay? They should all be compatible with accent technique, all right? There should never, ever be an argument, all right? Because they're the same thing. They're the same thing. So whatever acting technique that you possess out there, I'd encourage you. Take a second, think about how are they the same? Yeah, and just really put some thought into that. And of course, if you're confused about it, please ask me a question. I'm happy to. I'm happy to sort of unpack. So this piece of this technique, how does that part of accent? I'm happy to put those together for you. Um, okay, let's see here. What accent technique should you learn? All right. Here's the way you should look for accent technique. All right. You want something that's comprehensive, physically based. All right. Is very detailed, focuses on authenticity primarily. So uses real human beings for our accent models. Right. Takes the time that it needs to do it, and is repeatable. Right? Technique is no good to you unless it's repeatable. Unless we can recreate the thing over and over and over again, take after take, it's no good. There's no reason to keep it around in that case. So, most of the good professional accent coaches I have a background in Knight Thompson speech work, and that tends to be the gold standard for accent training today. Old school Skinner teachers, that's gone the way of the dodo a little bit, and disappeared simply because that model of teaching accents is more prescriptive, meaning I'm going to pull an accent out of thin air and say that's the accent that we're going to do, and you have to do it or you're wrong. You have to do it exactly like this or you're wrong. Whereas Knight Thompson is much more of a descriptive model where we say, let's look at how human beings actually speak and do that. All right, on the off chance that real life human behavior is human, right? And we should do that. So I would say find a good Knight Thompson, a teacher with a Knight Thompson background. But you also want a coach who knows, for instance, acting technique, backward and forward. You want a coach who knows about storytelling. You want a coach who knows how production works. You want a coach who knows how to interface with your agents and managers. You want a coach who knows about physiology and the anatomy of the vocal tract and the body and how that all works. You want a coach who knows cognitive neuroscience, so they know how to get your brain to understand this new stuff. You want a coach that understands script writing, so we can talk about that, in terms of what's in the script and text analysis. You want a coach who can do that. You want a coach who can do sociolinguistic work. You want a coach who can do ethno-linguistic work. You want a coach who's that broadly based so they can be a real powerhouse for you. All right? Stay away from actors who are just good at accents in acting school. We call these people helpful hobbyists, and while their heart's in the right place, they do not have the skill to get you to the next level. They don't. They don't possess it. I'm sorry, and they won't unless they invest many years in training. All right. So that's what accent technique that you should look at. Something that involves all of those things. Um, a question that often got asked to me. Oh, Evan is here. Evan says, "Chris, you're all of the above." Thank you. And yeah, I try to be like, you know, there's a reason that I work like I do. It's because of all of those sorts of things. You have to possess these skills to be a professional accent coach. But Evan, it's great to see you. I'm so glad you showed up. Oh, Robin is here and is just poking the bear a little. Says still no chili recipe available. I promised to share that chili recipe, and I will. I will. I'm just keeping you guys in suspense here, but I will share that. Ooh, and Robin again with a great question says, but what if the character speaks a different non-English language, like Russian, which has multiple different regions? How difficult is it to speak that particular dialect? Great question, Robin. Yeah. So learning a dialect or an accent of another language is really no different than learning an accent of your language. It just happens that you know the language already. If you're being asked to speak, let's say I'm familiar with German, all right, and a little bit of Russian, but more German than Russian these days. I would say that if you're an actor and you come to me and said they're asking me to speak German, can you teach me how to do this? I'd say absolutely I can. And then they said, I was like, well, I had some German in high school, and I said, well, it's likely you've been taught Hochdeutsch, right? And that in that position, right? It's likely that that was the case. And then the film that you're learning this for, they say, but we need to be Swiss German. Okay, so we just have to learn the differences between what you already know in German and how it changes. And then everything that you don't know, we just learn from scratch. And we just teach you how to pronounce it like a Swiss German. We find an actual Swiss German. We do the translation work. We get some recordings. We get some base material. And we say, this is how a Swiss German would pronounce it. And that's what I teach you. I did this with a client who was in, I can never remember the name of this play. It takes place in Florida of Cubans. My brain is gonna fall apart because I can't remember the name of this play. Every time I try to talk about this, I can't remember the name of the play. But in any case, he's a mixed race Filipino and Hispanic actor in New York, and he did this play, and then based on his Spanish and Spanish accent, and then it got cast in a Spanish production of The Crucible, and we had to get a bunch of that stuff translated into a rural Mexican dialect of Spanish, and we found a speaker who was able to do that, and we went through it and we did our analysis, and I taught him how to speak Spanish like this rural, and I don't speak Spanish, right? But the process is the same. So this is what we can do. So is it more difficult? Really depends on where you're starting from. But Robin, if you have good accent skills at your disposal, it's going to be just like learning any other accent. So Robin, invest in those accent skills. You know where to do that, right? DialectCoachChrisLane.com. I've got my Universal Accent Skills Workshop up there for you. Now is the time. Invest in those accents before you need them. Evan, if you need to email me, brother. Come on, actually do this, Evan. Schedule a Zoom consultation, and we'll chat. All right, the question that I have here for myself, and I talked about the IPA a couple of weeks ago, International Phonetic Alphabet. Hey, the IPA, still on my coaster. Or right here, International Phonetic Alphabet. Do you need this to learn accents? No, you don't need it. Like I can teach you accents without it. Would I love you to have it? Yeah. Do you want to have a way to like quickly and efficiently learn and master accents? Come learn the IPA. In fact, if you keep your eyes out, I think in about the next month, there will be an IPA workshop that I will be advertising that I've created with some colleagues. A comprehensive start to finish. Let's teach you the IPA so it's useful for you as an actor. If you had the IPA in college, this is not it. If you had this at an acting studio for 8 weeks, this is not it. This is a start to finish. Here's a tool that you're going to love for the rest of your life course. All right. So keep an eye out for that one. Sandra's saying bye. She has to go. Bye, Sandra. We'll see you. We'll see you next Tuesday here. Um, so in any case, acting technique, accent technique are the same thing. They're the exact same thing. So start learning your accent. and you're acting at the exact same time, which means you give yourself time to do it. It's a big topic today, and I could wander all around, right? Could wander all around talking about this, but the biggest thing is that, again, I want you all on TMFA. You must change your perspectives. Change the way your brain thinks about accents. You must do this. All right. If you want to be a successful accent actor, if you want to successfully expand your casting opportunities, which you will with accents, if you want to be really attractive to agents and managers, which you will be with accents, if you want casting to know that they could send you for, they could request you for anything because you have a ton of accents. If you want to be that flexible and that open and that expansive and that competitive in this business, you have to start thinking about things differently. Must change your mindset. Acting and accents, same thing, because accent is just behavior. And what's acting if not behavior? Living truthfully under imaginary circumstances, behaving truthfully under imaginary circumstances, using this behavior truthfully under imaginary circumstances. That's what it is. All right, everybody. I'm going to give you last chance for some more questions, and then I have to go coach. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Bruce the bass has an office hour with yours truly. All right, we're gonna talk. Tristan Cartwright. Tristan is here. Gosh, Tristan, seriously, say hello early on so I know you're here. What is this? What is this, Tristan? Don't hide. Ah, good to see you, Tristan. I really hope you're doing well. Um, so in any case, if anybody has any other questions, now is the time. Otherwise, I will say goodbye. I'm just going to casually sip some water while I wait for a question, if there is one. No questions, but in any case, I will see you all next. Christina, thank you. You have a great week too. Bruce, I'll see you in our office hour here shortly in about 30 minutes or a little bit more. And Tristan, watch from the beginning. Yeah. Oh, okay. Sarah, thank you. I'm really glad you're getting a lot out of this. This is not a gyroscope behind me. This is a I don't know what you call it. It's like a globy orby thing that I found. I just thought it looked cool and wanted it in my office. So yeah, it's not a gyroscope. That'd be pretty cool though. Okay. Yeah, Wilbert, go ahead and contact me. Come to my website and look for my chat bot. Uh, leave your information there. Get that link to sign up for the Zoom consult, and let's talk. Let's talk about some classes. Um, so, Christina, the chili recipe. Okay, the chili recipe. All right. I'm not going to write it down. You guys have to write it down, and it's going to be saved forever here. All right. I make my own chili powder. I take some ancho chilies, dried ancho chili. If they're hard and crackly, they're too old. You want the ones that'll bend. All right. Remove the ends and the seeds. Toast them. All right, in a pot until they get nice and fragrant, but they don't smoke. And then you want to throw those in a food processor with uh, garlic powder, cumin, oregano, salt, pepper, and about a handful of tortilla chips, and blend it until it's fine. That's your chili powder. So that's the basic chili powder. And then you'll cook in one small onion in about 3 tablespoons of oil in your Dutch oven. And once that's good and soft, I want you to add 3 cloves of garlic, or if you're like me, 6 cloves of garlic minced, and then add 2 pounds of ground beef. Now, before the ground beef, you're taking the ground beef out and you put it into a bowl. And I want you to mix it with 2 tablespoons of water and a tablespoon and a half of baking soda. This makes your beef more alkali, so it browns better. So and that has to sit for 20 minutes. While do that first, and then make your chili powder. So then you throw that beef and you brown it. Once it's good and brown, you put the chili powder in there and you stir that in. Then you take in your blender that whatever you mixed up your chili powder in, put a can of whole roasted cooked tomatoes in there with all their juices, and 3 or 4 or 5, if you're like me, chipotles and adobo, and a couple of spoonfuls of the adobo sauce in there, and whiz that up so you get all the leftover chili powder plus the liquid. And then you put that into the pot after the chili powder's gone and mixed around and starts crusting and creating fond on the bottom of the pot. and then you put a can of beans, pinto beans I usually use, or cannellini, but pinto is my favorite, with their juice in there, and then 2 cups of water at that point. Or if you're like me, a cup of water and a cup of good beer, good dark beer. So that'll go in, and then you'll stir that around. You'll deglaze the fond off the bottom of the pot with the liquid, and then the lid goes on into the oven at 275 for an hour and a half. And then when it comes out, you'll salt and pepper. You'll brighten it up with maybe a tablespoon of white vinegar or a couple good squeezes of lime, and then you can serve it at your leisure like you want. It's better on day 2 than it is on day 1, but it's excellent. That's my chili recipe, ladies and gentlemen. I can see just how many people stuck around for that. So make the chili. Send me some pictures. I'll be interested to know. Yeah, come back to this video and write down that recipe and see how it works for you. All right, everybody. That's all I have for today. Much love. If you guys need anything accent-wise, you know where to find me. I am here to help. Yeah, I've got some game in cooking. Yeah, I'm pretty good. As it turns out, creative outlet that has nothing to do with my job, guys, find one. It's super important. All right, guys. Much love to you all. I will see you next Tuesday. Keep an eye out for stuff coming up next. I have some surprises coming at the end of the month, I think. And keep an eye out for the other warm-up workshops and the IPA workshop. All right, you guys. I will see you next Tuesday. If you need anything, tag me in the group with that TMFA question, #accents, and ask your question there. And I will see you all next Tuesday. All right. Bye, everybody.